Hello! Welcome back after a short break. Unfortunately, I didn't have either time or opportunity to record this episode earlier. I must admit, I had a little crisis with my daughter and I wasn't really in the mood. But I'm back and I will tell you my story of how I learned English and how I learned Spanish. Because there is a major difference between both ways, between both approaches. And one of them is much better than the other one. But I will explain everything in detail in a second. But first, I will resolve your homework. So let me share with you a few sources you recommend for learning English. If it goes about YouTube, then you mention English with Lucy, all right? And also you mention Rachel's English. But those are typical channels for students of English. Apart from that, you watch lifestyle YouTube channels or you like to watch TED Talks, which is very nice. Recommended books are, here is my favorite, Harry Potter, yay! Also Little Prince, or it's a very good idea, well-known novels. For example, Dickens' Great Expectations, but adjusted to different levels of English, okay? And also those books have exercises or translation inside. So I think it's a nice kind of a handbook for self-education, very nice. I also got a recommendation of a series, which is Sesame Street. Probably all people around the world know it. So yeah, why not? It's not that easy, it's for children, but it's not very easy. But I think it's if you like the characters from Sesame Street and you want to have a little giggle during watching something, then I think it's a nice idea. All right, so, those are just your ideas and you can always find something appealing and interesting for you and you only. All right, so now I will tell you a story. Once upon a time, little Marta went to a kindergarten and there she started her English learning journey. Okay, so as you can see, this story starts around 25 years ago, and it is a typical for the majority of Polish people my age story. I had English classes in a primary school, middle school, high school, and obviously at the university, but that was my choice. I've never joined any course or I didn't have individual classes really. Well, once, I'm lying, once. During holidays, I attended a 2-month course because my mum needed support and motivation to go there by herself. So I joined her and we went together. And I really liked that time. But when I started to be interested in English more than in other subjects at school, I was doing additional things on my own. So, as I mentioned in the previous episode, I was translating songs, I was trying to read books and articles in English, I tried to watch movies without voiceover, and so on and so on. I remember I had trouble with understanding grammar for a long time. So I had a notebook which had a cute cover and I was rewriting all the grammar rules page by page with, of course, careful handwriting, colorful pens, and everything had to be neat and perfect. And it didn't really help me in understanding the grammar. But I liked doing this, and from today's point of view, it wasn't the best thing I did, but at least I had contact with English all the time. So in middle school, we had a new teacher who I loved. I absolutely loved her. Still, she didn't help me to get the grammar, but I liked her exercises, which was like reading texts out loud, or we had plenty of new vocabulary, and also I was asking her for additional exercises, which she was checking for me. So it was the time when I started to think that I really like English. So when I was accepted at high school, I chose a class with English profile. Our English teacher was also our tutor, so he was responsible for our class. And he was a young guy, just after the university, and I really, really liked him. I think he was one of the best teachers I've ever had, and I'm very grateful to him because I had some individual meetings with him where we were resolving many, many exercises. He explained grammar in such a way that I've finally started to understand it, and thanks to those additional meetings where thanks to them, I made like huge progress. And those meetings were organized because he wanted to prepare me for English contest, in which I didn't take part because I got sick, unfortunately. But those meetings gave me a lot of confidence, a lot of knowledge, and I'm still very grateful that I had the opportunity to have more contact with the language. So at this point, I liked English so much that I decided to study it. So I applied to English philology, and let me tell you, this choice was the best choice of my life. Those studies were everything I dreamed of. Plus, our old building looked like a miniature of Hogwarts, and I met my best friends there. So, summing up, I've been learning English almost from the beginning of my life until now. Because, you never know 100% of the language. You can learn something new every day. And because I teach people, when I prepare a class, I still learn new vocabulary, pronunciation, or I figure out new ways of explaining some grammar rules. Additionally, my everyday job is in an international company, and it allows me to learn a lot of business English. So that's it. If it goes about English, long journey, many years of studying, and unfortunately, many years of traditional and boring approach at school. And now, my Spanish story. So in the episode where I list facts about me, I mentioned that I had Spanish classes at the university, but I learned absolutely nothing. Maybe I knew how to say hello and, a dog. And my friend reminded me about one ridiculous class where we had to repeat word shoes all the time, zapatos, with this sound which was overdone, like completely overdone by our teacher. So we heard only, and we remember only from this one class, zapatos, zapatos, zapatos. And it's horrible, horrible memory. I wish I didn't remember about it, but well. But anyway, let's say I knew nothing, okay? I couldn't communicate at all in Spanish. But thanks to my friend Aga, both of us applied for Erasmus program, and we decided to choose 2 Spanish universities and one based in France. It was a bit shocking, but we were accepted, and we were sent to our first choice city, Vigo, in Spain. And we got there at the end of August, and we started to communicate with people in December. So it took us 3 months to speak. And I'm not saying that we could talk about politics or philosophy, but we could go and do the shopping with no fear. We could talk to our friends. We could understand people and basic phrases and the content of movies or TV series, So maybe you are wondering, how is it possible? Only 3 months? Well, that's how we did it. 1. We lived in Spain. That's surprising. We lived in Spain, a country where Spanish is an official language. So we were surrounded by it everywhere. Friends, universities, shops, street, programs in TV, and additionally, all films and programs in the TV are dubbed. So all of them are in Spanish. 2. We were spending our free time with Spanish people who didn't really speak English. So we were somehow obliged to learn the language. Number 3, we were watching movies, TV series, and programs in Spanish with English subtitles. So, for example, after watching Toy Story at the very beginning of our adventure in Spain, we knew a new phrase, buen trabajo, which means good job. So very motivational, for the beginning. And also after watching Spanish game shows, we started to understand more and more vocabulary. Number 4, apart from the fact that we wanted to learn Spanish, we didn't spend time at the parties or with other students from different countries. We weren't those typical Erasmus students who went to party and wanted to be wild because they lived in another country. No, we really wanted to learn the language, the culture, and to see as many places as possible. We wanted to travel, enjoy our time there, and learn. And that's what we did. Number 5, we attended a Spanish language course at the university for Erasmus students. Our teacher, Mercedes, was Spanish, and she used only Spanish. It was amazing because we could learn something for an hour in the classroom, and then we went out and we could and actually had to use this knowledge in real life. We weren't learning the material by heart without any context, but we were really using it. And I'm very emotional, and I'm very, you can hear in my voice that it's so amazing, but it is. It's the best practice you can have. And number 6, the last one, we attended yoga classes because we had to pass physical education, and we chose yoga because why not? It occurred that our yoga group consisted of Spanish people only, not other students, but people who worked at the campus. Our teacher, she was from Belgium, and she spoke Spanish and English and French, but she refused to speak English with us. The only thing that she said in English was that she wouldn't use English because we need to learn Spanish. And, that way it would be faster. And we were like, excuse me, what? And we were petrified at the beginning. We wanted to resign, to escape, to run away, whatever. But it occurred to us that we should be very grateful to her because after 2 weeks, which were like 4 classes, we knew all body parts in Spanish. It was amazing, just after 2 weeks. So, you see, we are really grateful to her. So, as you can see, it's enough to move to the country where a language you want to speak is spoken every day. Okay, a silly joke, not very funny. I know, I'm joking because I know that not every person has such possibility, to move to another country, or especially now with coronavirus, good luck. But those 2 stories show you that even if you live in Poland and you want to learn English or any other language, you need to surround yourself with this language. You need to listen to it. You need to read in this language. You need to speak this language, even to yourself, and even breathe with it. No, that's too much. But you know what I mean. You need to have a constant contact with this language. So time for your homework. Let me know which language you would like to speak and in which this language speaking country you would like to live. So for example, I would like to speak Spanish, so I would like to live in Mexico, whatever, okay? So I'm waiting for your answers, for your homework. I also invite you to my Instagram account where you can find some new vocabulary and you will be notified about new episodes. So that's it for today. Thank you very much and have a great day. Bye bye.